Is there any part of this fight, Paulie, where you say that McGregor has an advantage?
The only small advantage you talk about is probably the fact that there's probably things that McGregor does that Mayweather hasn't seen before. Now, does that mean they're going to work? No, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to work. I mean, you bring in any guy off the street to box, and he's going to have a different sense of timing, a different rhythm. So obviously, but that doesn't mean he's going to be successful. So McGregor's goal here has to be to use the awkwardness to his advantage in ways that it will actually work against that Mayweather defense, against the Mayweather intelligence, and the Mayweather style. Because he's been a fighter his whole life, McGregor, even if he's not been a boxer, I think he at least has the foundation of knowing and understanding certain concepts, even if they're not boxing, and of understanding certain concepts. And if you take those concepts into the right situation and use a certain amount of awkwardness to get the timing correct, there's could be small issues maybe early on, and then that's all a guy like McGregor needs with his punching power is small issues to create into bigger issues if he knows how to translate those into bigger issues. We shall see.
People have used, Paulie, Marcos Maidana as kind of a blueprint for Conor McGregor, an unorthodox chopping style. Do you see that as being a blueprint for him?
I wouldn't say it's exactly, because again, Maidana was still a guy who'd been in boxing his whole life. I wouldn't say exactly it's like that. But of course, there's definitely some rough stuff in there. I mean, we've boxed, and it's definitely he knows how to get rough in there, and the thing about it is though, a lot of things after a few rounds, he's going to have to continue to get creative because, and I don't know that throughout a 12-round fight, once Mayweather adjusts how many possible weapons McGregor brings to a boxing ring, that will be my only concern, really. That will be one of my concerns, really, for Conor, would be he's got this handful of things that he wants to do, but if there are a few rounds, a good boxer kind of figures them out. So then, do you have anything else you can go to? Have you learned enough in boxing in these last few months to go to a plan B, C, and D? And that's kind of one of the things that, gets tricky.
Joe Cortez, the former referee, he said, I believe yesterday, that things got a little bit rough with you and McGregor. Is that true?
Yeah. I'll be honest. It got a little rough. It got a little tense. It got I'd say, dirty, very, very dirty, even in spots of the sparring. I don't think he was, he brings his game face into sparring. He's not very likable. I got to admit, I'm not very likable either a lot of times in there. So also there had been words in the media about we'd said about each other before we even came to camp. So I'm sure it all came to a head in the sparring, and I'm sure it'll come to a head again today in sparring. I'm not here to be friends with anybody, and he's not here to. I've certainly seen the way he's been with his sparring partners. He's definitely not here to be friends with any of his sparring partners. So by that equation, I expect another good one today.
I think the question, Paulie, is that people have is if it gets away from Conor McGregor, will we see him kind of devolve into an MMA fighter and try some of that stuff? I know there are huge financial penalties if he does, but you mentioned there was some dirty stuff in sparring. Would it surprise you if McGregor went and threw an elbow at Mayweather or a kick at Mayweather at some point during the fight?
I wouldn't go that far for a kick or an elbow. I mean, you can sneak in elbows even in a real boxing match. I mean, I've been hit with elbows from boxers, in boxing matches. There's ways you can sneak those in. A knee or a kick, not so much. You can't really sneak those in without getting caught. I don't know. It's kind of up to him to figure out if he knows how to, get away with those things or whatnot. I could see McGregor definitely trying to bend the rules a little bit, but you have to do it within the bounds of a dirty boxer, because if you go over the bounds of a dirty boxer, you outright foul intentionally to the point where it's obvious you're fouling intentionally, you risk such heavy fines, it's not worth it. So I think you toe the line, so to speak, but you toe the line with the awkwardness, and you toe the line with maybe a little bit of dirty stuff, but you got to make sure that it's within the bounds of boxing, otherwise he's going to have a problem.
Yeah.